Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time I thought I would grab a big handful of books. You want to see them? Books from my TBR, my to be read box. So, in coming months or years, you may well be seeing these more closely. Okay, and our first one here is Miss Battlestar Galactica number 5. This is from 1998 from Realm Press. I don't know anything about Realm Press, and this is the I think the only one I've got from this particular run, is in it not affiliated with the Rob Liefeld version from just a few years before that, and some others have had it since then. But here it is. This is, but it's some really nice artwork. I don't know. It's number 5. It's it's in part of an ongoing story here. But you can see, Prison of Souls, Part 3. But look at this, some cool artwork. Really cool artwork. With airbrush, like fully painted pages. I just, all I have to say about that is that if they're going to invest that much and that much time, effort, and undoubtedly money for the printing and for the art, then they ooh, that's gross. Ooh, that's Cylon Centurion is turning into some kind of alien monster. Wow. The story better be well worth it. But it has some really nice looking stuff there. 20 yarn ad for a Galactica Con. Something about the snipers. And then here's a nice painting on the back cover. Oh, that's some nice stuff. And here we have from DC Comics, Star Squadron Annual Number 1 from 1982. And I showed some other Star Squadron not too long ago, like this, 1982. And this has Jerry Ordway artwork in it. Jerry Ordway and Adrian Gonzalez. Has some really nice stuff here. And it being an annual, it's a larger, thicker book. It has an ad for Camelot 3000 when it first came out, which really tells you how long ago that was. And you may not be familiar with, if you're not that young, you might not be familiar with Camelot 3000. That was a big deal at the time. Okay, and then here we have, I've covered Eman a few times before, and I probably will again. This is from First Comics, Eman number 9. And this is written and drawn by Joe Staton. This is one, of course, it originated at EC Comics, but Nicola Cuddy and Joe Staton kept the rights to the character and then shipped them around. This is from 83, so Charlton was still publishing at the time, barely, but they were still publishing a little at the time, and it was, of course, superhero is a humorous superhero title, parody, along with his detective friend Mike Mauser, who is a parody of Magnum PI. Here we have John Sable Freelance. I used to get these all the time. I don't have nearly as many as I used to. Still from First Comics. This was later 80s, wasn't it? What year? 85. There's issues 31 and 32. And these are the a two-part story. I think it's just 2 parts. If it's continued, yeah, 2 parts. And John Sable Freelance. That was a good one. Even had a TV series based on it. It didn't last very long. It had some really nice artwork and had some really good stories. I think some of Mike Grell's best work, in my opinion. And he even wrote a prose novel of John Sable Freelance. Okay. And then here we have. This is from I think I just looked at it. I think it said 1988, 86. Is Kyra #2 from Elsewhere Press, Elsewhere Productions. Basically a self-published. I mean, this is a photo. The lady who the character is physically based on. She's a model for it. And of course, it's a jungle type, but she's not in the jungle here. Lost and found. And she is a female bodybuilder. And there's a little bit of science fiction and fantasy stuff involved in there too. And somewhere I have I should still have a trade paperback reprinting the whole initial run, I think, of 3 or 5 issues, something like that. It has some pretty decent artwork with a little backup story about a female bodybuilder. It's by Robin Ator, and even inside that, some of the visual inspirations for the characters, female bodybuilders. Now remember, female bodybuilders at this time in the 80s are about like modern day fitness competitors, and they're not nearly as bulky as the female bodybuilders of today. And then we have from Eternity Comics, which is part of an imprint of Malibu Comics, which was later bought out by Marvel Comics. It's Robotech: The Sentinels, Book 3. I don't know. I remember the show. This is from what, 90? Yeah, 94. And it looks, of course, based on the. That looks like a Star Trek shuttle. Based on the anime series, TV series. Some decent artwork, very, very, of course, Japanese manga looking. And here, also from this is the Ultraverse from Malibu. Malibu's Ultraverse, same company. This is Nightman #2. This isn't #2 of the whole run. I think this is of a second run. I can't remember. This is from 90. What did I just see? 1993, mangled. And Nightman is a little bit like their version of Batman, but not quite, because he does have some superpowers. And Nightman had a TV series, a syndicated show, Nightman in the 90s, about the same time they had, or early 2000s. That's what it was. At the same time they had Mutant X on TV, and they were usually paired together on the syndicated shows. It's from the same production company, I think. This is some. I remember reading a few issues of Nightman, not too many, but I enjoyed it. Here we have from 2002, Brutal Planet by, what did I just looked up before, and I can't see his name. Matt Kimball. This is the first issue, Brutal Planet from Nico Press. And this has some really nice artwork. It is a fantasy. There's some really nice stuff. Again, it looks like some airbrushing going on. In some ways, kind of reminiscent of Richard Corbin, a little bit. And then we finish this up with, from Renegade Press, Max Allan Collins and Terry Beatty's Miz Tree. Also features Johnny Dynamite. I'll get to that. Okay, Max Allan Collins, he is a mystery writer, but he used to write for several years. Wrote the Dick Tracy comic strip. Wrote some Dick Tracy books. As a successful mystery writer in his own right, has had movies based on some of his novels, and he's also written novelizations of movies, and including, if you remember, the very, very good and successful Road to Perdition from several years ago. He wrote the graphic novel that movie was based on. Then he wrote the prose novelization of the movie. So, there's some Terry Beatty artwork, and they worked together on this and also on Wild Dog at DC Comics. There's some nice artwork, and very reminiscent of the hard-boiled detective stories. And Max Collins also wrote the last couple of Mickey Spillane, Mike Hammer novels. He co-wrote. He basically finished some incomplete couple of incomplete manuscripts, and they were some. The one that I listened to on audio anyway was pretty good, and so that's all I had to share with you this time here on Bizarre Brain Comics. So thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do leave your comments down below, or if any questions about anything, ask me, whatever, and I'll see if I can answer them. But which one of these books looks most promising to you? I would like to, actually, basically all of them I'd like to cover at some point. So let me know, and remember, comics are art.